They fucked up apparently.
Pretty much, yeah.
They had
Finding
two
themselves,
thumbs up their asses.
finding themselves after making a deal for somewhat of a quest to retrieve the master of some undead savant in a tower far inside the swamp of the local island they had all found themselves to be. Some of them locals, some of them not. This quest they find themselves on after some meticulous traveling, dealing with some sort of long, sluggish beast in the process, and slaying it after some dubious troubles with paralysis on account of the monk. Upon finally making it back to Lord Blaine's estate, where our party previously encountered their original quarrel, finding themselves in a unique situation to complete the task they were given by the savant. After finding themselves inside the house, sneaking about, causing as little noise or distraction as they could. Finding not only easy entrance, but less the distraction. Upon finding themselves inside the house, deciding not only was it enough, but they needed a distraction. Upon the outside, their party then taking attention of the guards to the outside of the house, and then subliminally knocking them unconscious by flinging rocks in their direction. After dealing with the problematic guards in the way, the party then smashing through the desk inside Lord Blaine's office and stealing the chalice upon hearing the inward sigh of a mental voice all familiar to them, saying, "Oh lords, not again." Now, as we pick up, the party is currently engaged with a couple of unconscious guards in front of a bucket, a rock, and currently one very, very fearful looking guard standing before them with his weapon drawn and his hand out, almost frozen in a shock of fear. As we pick up, what would you like to do? You currently have two guards knocked out beside him, the other two in a bush far off, Iris behind them holding another rock in her hands, tossing it up like a softball, and yourselves after just throwing a bucket and attempting to knock out the other guard. What would you like to do?
Um,
We are in darkness right now, right? Like,
Yep.
all right. I'd like to just scream out, "The frogs are attacking again!"
No, can I just cast sleep on the guys?
Certainly, go ahead.
Okay,
I don't believe it's a
okay.
saving throw,
I-
but go ahead, do your damage.
I'll let
Do
him
the
do
sleep
that
damage.
before anything.
Okay. It is loading. Where the fuck's the spell? Here it is. Sleep. Spell.
Sleep should be, I believe, 4d8.
It is. Yeah, it's 4d8. And hit points. No, it's 5d8 actually, not 4d8.
5d8, I was off by 1. Symbolic.
3, 4, 5. Okay, let's roll. 25 damage. Or sleep damage.
25. Alright. So, seeing as one is knocked out to your right, and then the other one to your left with the bucket, and you doing the forms around your hand, making these arcane sigils as you burst out this almost flicker of sparkling light, almost like a slight casting of sand. You watch as these almost coalesce around the form of this guard, and he immediately goes from fear to looking drowsy, stumbles about, falls over to the right, and just slumped over. You see he's
Kind of.
currently lolled back asleep.
Kind of. Rowan's was the one in third, right?
The bucket,
bucket?
yeah.
Rowan was the one who threw the bucket, yes.
Yeah.
And
Why
you
did you
stopped Zoram as he was trying to throw a rock making sound.
Oh. Let's try to just get out of here now before we encounter the rest of the guards. Maybe.
Oh, let's get the horse, or the carriage and the horses. Or horse?
As this is going on, Nehrim, you, after walking your way towards where the horse and carriage would be kept for the night after asking for the privilege to base your horse and allow it to be fed and taken care of for the night, as you walk over, you do hear when the other guards are called for the intruders. And you then very subsequently, moments afterward, hearing the sound of thunk of a bucket hitting a human head, a rock hitting a human head, and then something hitting the ground as you walk away. And as you turn back around, you see the form of all the guards currently piled on top of.
Oh, what is going on? I swear to
Let's just
God.
Okay, Nehrim, we got the chalice. Someone decided to cause some things, but now we have to go before Lord Bane has our asses on a platter.
Let me get the cart ready then. And Nehrim just sets everything up so that we
Yeah,
have...
you beeline back your way towards the small stables and get there. And it's pretty simple, easy work for you. You've done this before. It takes you maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, but you're able to get it done. You get the cart reattached. It would be heavy work, but you're just a strong enough individual to get it done without any need for some sort of a roll. Now,
Alright.
as you do so, rest of the party, what would you like to do? As you currently see as Nehrim beelines it off towards the stables, and you're all there with about 5 unconscious and semi-maimed guards at your feet.
I'd like to go back to the camp we had and try to find the rest of our group.
I would like to start dragging the guards into the bushes.
Okay. This will be a survival. Make a survival check.
Got it. Uno momento, por favor. Survival, right?
Yes.
That is a 19.
Easy enough. You go over, start dragging away some of the bodies. The armor on them pretty much leaving drag marks through. Easy to find in the morning, but this late at night it's going to be a bit different. So as you drag them through, you manage to find the same bush that Iris had put her guards in. And as you throw them in there along, you do hear the unconscious kind of grumbling and groaning of in pain.
Well, not my fault. Ryoka then would try to sweep her feet across the drag marks to hide them a little better.
Okay, it's a bit dark, and you can see the paths, just not with the light at the moment. The only light you really have is the campfire that's about maybe 20, 25-ish feet away from you. So using that light, you could go through and cover up the tracks as best you can if you want. Make a survival check for me. I wouldn't say with any advantage or disadvantage.
Okay. That will be... that's a 5.
Yeah, making your way around, you covering the tracks as best you can. It's a bit hard from what you can see, but you smush through the mud and kind of get your hands dirty and get down and start kind of switching it around. It's difficult, but you manage to hide it somewhat.
Morning comes, makes it more obvious instead.
Yup. So, as this is all dealt with, you watch as Nehrim bringing the cart around. Nehrim, are you going to try and do this stealthily? Because even like trying to drag the cart, that's going to be a bit difficult. Because you do know the guards are currently alerted to the presence that there are intruders on the ground.
No, I think he's just gonna haul ass.
All right, so you're just going to grab it and start hauling. Let's see. Yeah. All right, so as you're dragging through, you do see that eventually, looking off to the right, since you're currently the front end of the manor, you know, since there's the estate is in the front. So you have the entrance, the estate, and then the garden in the back. You guys were currently residing in the garden and making your way around to the front to get to the stables. The stables are near the front end of the estate. So as you get the cart and start rushing it over, you do see off to your right that guards are starting to come out of the guardhouse, the barracks you had seen before. They do notice you beelining it, just hauling ass across. Does pique their interest, and you do have about 4 guards following you as you're just pulling this cart along to the end. As say, just about make a animal handling check. You're just trying to pull the cart along with you, as the with the horse as well.
That is a 16, 14 plus 2.
All right, so no problem. You pretty much grabbing onto the horse, you lead around. It's the cart you guys have isn't very heavy. It's pretty much just get there and back, and you're good to go. So no problem at all. Dragging through, the horse follows at a good pace. It's even with the mud and such slowing it down, it's still allowing you to carry through. The guards do follow you, not as close as they would like, but they are starting to catch up. We'll say about 2 or 3 minutes is the lead that you have, because they have to make their way from the barracks around to you and then back into the garden as they watch you running through. So as that happens, rest of you watch as Nehrim is currently hauling ass with the horse, the reins strapped over one shoulder, and is currently pulling as fast as.
So, once Nehrim arrives, he's just gonna like look to the others and just go, "Come on, guys, we need to go right now."
Yes, I know. Let's just load up. We'll check. Remember, we don't say anything about the
As is happening, you all watch as the little bead of light off in the distance, in the maybe about 50, 60 feet away from you. You see as about 4 guards come around the corner of the manor. As they're running over to you, you do see they are quasi-dressed. You see they've been somewhat rushed as the call for intruders has alerted. It doesn't seem like they're all fully armored, but they are definitely alerted and ready to fight. So as you all getting back onto the cart, mounting up one by one at a time, eventually the guards coming over and skidding to a halt as you all load. And say it would eliminate your time advantage there because of the amount of time just getting everybody on, since you aren't really waiting to get on. So piling all on, guards skitter through, even in their quasi-dressed form. You see is the one that stands up. You see a familiar handlebar mustache, lean with a very tall figure, maybe about 7 even. He's a very tall figure. You've seen him before. He is what you can refer to as the head guard here. And as he comes up with you, you see he has his chest plate on his sword and different accoutrement, but nothing you've seen on him before. And as he stands there, "Ho there! What do you think you're doing here? Call for intruders. And what are you doing?"
Let's see.
Right.
I would expect an answer.
Well,
Or shall we take you all into custody?
I'd like to just.
wait, we're in the garden, so right where our camp is.
You
supposed
guys
to be?
are okay. Let me give you an idea. In the
Okay.
garden, you currently have off in the far left corner where you guys had first made your camp. You made a little fire and a little bit of a place where you laid out your sleeping rolls, a little bit of a campsite. You've done that. The cart currently maybe about 70, 80 feet in front of you in the stables across the yard, which is in front of the estate. You guys are currently about 15 feet away from your campsite, your old camp. You're now in the cart. The guards are in front of you. Currently, you are all on the cart, in the garden, while pretty much you're just finishing up loading.
How much time has passed since since I threw that bucket and we got onto the cart?
Maybe, if even, about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
All right, I'd like to turn to the guard and just say I was just escorting them out. I'm in the best imitation I can of the old man, since I am still disguised as him.
Make a deception check.
Where's the dice? Wait, no. Give me a second. Okay. That is a 9 plus 14. Wait, no. It's a. I can't tell. Yeah, 14. Sorry.
Well, hello. What are you doing here? Why are you out of the manor so late of a night?
As I said, I was escorting them out. They finished their business here, and I don't want them here anymore, so I gladly took the opportunity to get them out of here.
Kind of brings his hand up, scratches his chin. You currently, you're standing outside of the cart just as you were helping everybody else get on.
Yeah.
Or did you not hear? They said they were intruders. And here they are. I find this highly coincidental.
We're not intruders.
Well, with these guys around, who knows? They might just cause more of a mess than we already have on our hands.
It is fair. It is fair.
And I don't
However,
think
I'd like you all to step off the cart, please. It is a precaution, I hope you understand. I'd like you all to dismount. Show us yourselves. And then we will continue looking for the others. And you see he's currently looking around. You can guesstimate he's probably looking for the other guards.
Ryoka hops off the cart.
I just slowly make my way down as well. Just as if I was an elderly man, seeming to have a little bit of struggle as I go down.
Nehrim's gonna step off as well, but stand near the horse.
Alright, so getting off, standing near the horse as you all eventually getting out, forming somewhat of a single file line. As you all just stand there, you watch as the guard just kind of goes down the line looking at each of you. Kind of locks eyes with you, Nehrim, and then Zoram. Seems suspicious of Dragonborn. From what it seems, he possibly hasn't dealt with you very much. Seems to be fine with the rest of the party, but he's definitely looking at you.
He's a racist toward Dragonborn. Nah, I'm kidding.
Could I walk over, step out of the line, wander over to the guard, just trying to, pull him into closer so I can whisper to him? Just go, that bard, the one, you know which one, the annoying one with the bagpipes. He's still inside the house. I don't know what he's doing in there. I don't know if he has any bad intentions, but he's still in there, and you need to keep an eye on him.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. On my way out after hearing the commotion, I didn't have time to see what he was doing, but he's in there somewhere.
Hmm. Make a persuasion check.
Nat 20.
Okay. So, as you're discussing this, you just leaning down to listen to you talk, then stands up and scratches his chin again. Very well. And sees he goes over and kind of gets the attentions of the other guard. You see him motion towards the house. The rest of you watch this. You see whatever he's saying it in a rather quiet voice. You can't really hear it. You guys are maybe about 5 feet apart. And watch as the other guards start moving away and actually start towards the house. The captain seems to stay there.
I turn
And
towards
standing
the
with
rest. I turn towards the rest of the party and just go, all right, the rest of you. Let's get you out of here. I want you out of my sight.
You're normally much nicer to guests, Othello.
Yeah, but with these bunch, do you really think I should be nice to them? They've already caused enough trouble.
Whatever do you mean?
Knowing your background is dubious, to say the least, about you being untrustworthy towards these folks. I've known you, you've known me. I'll take your word for it. Get them out quickly, while we search we will search the ground for the other. We will let you know when we find him.
Thank you very much. I just like to step in front of the horse, taking the reins, just start walking it off towards the entrance.
Make an animal handling check.
Animal handling.
Would I be able to help him with that?
You certainly can. Make that check at an advantage, Roman.
Okay, because the first one was a 2. The second one's a 16. Okay, 16.
Mm-hmm. So, making your way around, you do have some initial troubles getting the horse going, and then you watch as Nehrim just kind of gets up to his usual riding position, and then he just kind of takes the rein from you and just makes a small snapping sound with the reins and then hands it back. And the horse kind of finally gets its idea to move. Starts trotting its way along with you as you start pulling it along. You do watch as more guards are coming out of the barracks as you make your way around the manor house estate. And they're moving around the grounds. You definitely see they're not heading into the house, more of trying to check to see what's outside before going in. You can definitely see things have been stirring up quite a bit. And as you are all currently making your way off, you hear this familiar. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of being within all of your fine company?
Well, we want your treasure now.
What are you on? Okay, look, I'll explain. When we returned to town to see if there was any more goods, a sort of old man, I presume, said you're his master. He gave us some trinkets. I'm sorry about the dogs. I can't stop. And well, we're breaking out. It's said we would get rewarded, and so why not get a little bit more coin?
How
This was the
joyous.
plan all along.
Not only am I dealing with idiots. I'm dealing with idiots who think they know the world. And you hear just another mental sigh as you feel the presence of the chalice congeal back into itself.
What's up with him?
I think he doesn't like us. I wonder
I
why.
think he's more so annoyed of people's in our group's actions.
No. Surely not.
And then Rouse proceeds to throw a bottle at Ryoko. I'm kidding.
What kind of bottle? Is it full?
Nice. Alright.
Like, does he actually
No,
throw?
no, he doesn't. The depression in her voice. Oh. There. So, getting off the estate eventually, you, Rowan, now become Othello, knowing. Hopefully, that's what the old savant's name was. Unlocking the gate with some means that you are unaware of. I would like you to go ahead and roll a d20 plus your dexterity. Do you have any sort of thieves' tool?
Let me check. I do not. Could I ask anyone in the party? Because if I remember correctly, Zornum had some?
He had tinkerer's tools.
Yeah, okay then. No, I have no tools. So d20 plus my dexterity, right?
Yep.
That is a 12 plus 3, so 15.
Yeah. You go over and start trying to fiddle with the lock. Nothing seems to come to fruition. Continue prodding at it, and nothing seems to work. And as you do so, you hear another. Oi! What do you think you're doing with it? Othello, what are you doing up so late?
I'm getting this bunch out of here. I don't want them around anymore. I'm tired. I want to sleep. I'm too old to deal with all of this, yet no one else seems to be wanting to do it.
And watches these other two guards. You guys are familiar with these two. These are the constant guards that seem to be at the gate whenever you seem to enter and exit. Alright, well, they've done you some sort of grievance. I guess they are pretty bad. No, let's open the gate. And jingle the keys, and then see a metal on the gate slowly opens. You lead the cart through, and do get about 5-10 feet afterwards. And what do you want to do? Because you're still in the form of the servant.
Yeah. I'd like to just stand outside of the gates, just putting my arms at my sides, just, kind of looking at them like, oh God, am I glad that they're gone?
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm doing that, just lightly turn around towards where the two guards are, just looking behind. And I'd like to cast Minor Illusion in the form of a scream behind them.
It's not normally a minor illusion. That would be more of just an illusion. Minor illusion
says I can create a sound. Its volume can range. It can be from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice.
Scream. I heard you say screen.
No. A scream.
Okay. I had heard you say screen, not a scream.
No, just a scream like the one they used against the frogs.
Okay. Let's see. And what are the components of minor illusion? Are they vocal, somatic, and material, or
they are somatic and material? And I only turn my head, so my hands would still be out of range.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yep. It's a 10.
So as you kind of turn yourself and start making these slight arcane symbols in between your fingers, start casting them. As you go about to throw them out, you watch as the guards kind of look oddly at what you're doing with your hands. And then as you throw it out and the scream goes out, and watch as they both immediately just kind of jerk themselves around and look. I don't seem to see anything, but they seem to be looking around. Their hands go for their weapons as they do hear this scream.
Yeah. Lastly, I'd like to call just really quick, bend down, grab a pinch of dirt, cast Long Strider on myself, book it.
So as they turn around and grab their weapons, and they start turning around to hear this blood-curdling scream, this almost this feminine blood-curdling scream, like that almost in most horror movies. And you turn around, you lean down, grabbing a pinch of dirt, and you start rubbing it into your hands, doing again more familiar, archaic runic symbols with your fingers, until you feel this familiar jolt of energy on your, and you suddenly feel as though you can take wider strides, and you feel as you almost like you're walking, like your legs become trees, and you feel like you're taking much longer strides when you start moving much faster. You can easily catch up with a cart. It's only about 15, 20 feet away, and you just kind of, it's like the dash. You just run past.
Yeah. Can I drop my disguise self?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I just drop my disguise self. Just as I go get to the car, just go run, 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 run.
Ooh, wait, who has the reins? I'm just
Currently, Nehrim does.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay.
say, and he's gonna, he's gonna try and make the horse go into a gallop, just to get away. Even though that
Okay,
might not-
go
I
ahead.
was saying-
Make
I
make
was
an
saying
animal
not
handling
gallop.
check.
I wouldn't say gallop, or else it would be very suspicious. You should be
They're already very
What?
suspicious.
It should
Yeah,
be
but-
like
That
trot.
is a 12. 10 plus 2.
trot.
Okay,
Would
10,
be safer.
12. All right. So, as you get them into a harder gallop as they start taking off, the horse does start gaining more speed and taking through. So, yeah, let's say you're able to pretty easily. Like, it takes a few moments, but you do eventually get yourself up and moving. No
Well,
issue.
that worked. Yeah.
What even happened? I only heard some,
Well, let's
I
see.
punched a hole through a desk.
Yes,
I became an
that
old
happened.
man.
yeah, what
Yes,
was that,
that's
like,
all
rock
happened.
throwing about?
Make
rock
sure the guards
throwing?
don't come after us.
Right. Next time, let's try to not use buckets, though.
I think
Either-
the bucket was an amazing idea.
Yes, you think anything from a bottle of alcohol is an amazing idea, no offense.
Yeah, okay.
No, I got us out of there, did I not?
True. Whatever, let's just get to this bloody tower already. Hey.
All right. So, eventually, getting yourselves over. It's just about 3-ish o'clock in the morning for you guys. You guys did this at a pretty late time. So, you guys want to camp in for the night, or do you guys just want to travel through the night? Because you've been doing so a lot, and the horse is tired.
Why don't we find somewhere to rest?
I was about to say
Sounds
the
like a good
same.
idea.
I say we don't set a fire tonight, as they may come after us.
How about I don't keep guard this time? Don't keep watch.
Yeah, 'cause last time I almost, died.
I'll take second watch, if that's alright with you lot.
I'll take third watch then.
All right. So, getting yourselves designated out, I would like First watch, please make a perception check.
But who's first watch? Is it?
First
take
watch,
every-
that would be.
Oh, okay.
No. If you wish to designate yourself first watch, go ahead and do so.
Okay.
Come on, Iris. Come on, motherfucker.
What's
Come on,
And
motherfucker.
suddenly, Iris woke up from her 2-day trance.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. Waking herself up from a 2-day trance.
Excuse you, I'm the one that threw the rocks.
She did save you guys somewhat.
What do I have?
A d20 plus your wisdom for a perception check.
It's 18.
18. All right. You, as the doing a cold camp, and being human, you can't really see much in the dark.
Half
You're pretty much relying on your sense.
Half elf.
You are a half elf. Oh, that's correct. I was thinking of somebody else. My apology.
It's okay. No need to apologize.
Your dark vision does help you.
we have a lot of half elves.
Yes, you do. Now, as you continue looking around, pacing about the camp, the light would help. Certainly would. But as you continue going about, you don't seem to see anything. Mainly relying on your sound perception tonight. And just listening. Don't really seem to hear anything that really attracts your attention. You hear the normal roaming sound of the croaking of frogs, buzz of insects. And you hear kind of a growl off in the distance.
Can I
None
tell
other
what
than
it
that.
was?
Make a wisdom check.
God, like people.
It's a 11.
You haven't heard that sound before. It's new to you. You haven't heard this before.
I will keep that in mind and wait for the next person to take watch and inform them of what I heard.
Okay. So, as this happens, and continue keeping watch, and the night progresses slowly. And watch as the sun starts coming up just about the end of your watch. Looking about, and just as yours about to end, see the horse, making sure everything's okay. Nothing seems to have disturbed the camp. You go over and wake the second person up for watch, which should be, I believe, Nehrim or Volus.
I called second watch. So
I heard a
I'll
growling in the distance, just to give you a heads up. I didn't think it was important enough to wake everybody up for.
I'll keep an eye out. Thank you, Iris.
Hmm. It kind of gets
And
your head and then goes to.
welcome back, Grape. I think it was that left.
No?
No, who
It's
was that left?
Clyde.
Oh, okay. I'll roll for my perception now.
Mm-hmm. Please make a
Alright.
perception check. If you
18.
are
14 plus 4.
looking about, having some issue as you look about, it's the mixture of the sun coming up and starting to heat through the swamp. You watch as the morning fog starts coalescing. You see as it stays low to the ground and almost seeps up to just about your knees. Everybody who's asleep doesn't seem to be affected by it. Just it's somewhat harder to breathe now that it's denser, but it doesn't seem to affect your sleeping state. But as you, Volus, as you continue looking about, Nothing seems to disturb the fog. Everything seems quiet. Hear a growl again off in the off to the right. It would be north western to you.
Okay.
Let me see if I can give you a little bit of a hint of where you are. So, as you hear this, is there anything you would like to do?
I guess he practice some of his magic. Since they are in a swamp, there will be a amount of water, I presume.
Yeah. There's,
So,
being in the swamp, there's decent enough amount of water, yes.
so he's going to just fiddle around with his cantrip shape water. And let's see what I can do. He'll raise about a 5 amount of water and just shape it around, trying to get a better control of it.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
Okay. Thank you, +5. I had gotten 22 from a 17 +5.
All right. So, that represents the cart. I'm just saying that represents the cart. So, as you just fiddling around, you almost recognize. You start fiddling around with the fog, and knowing that's created of water, and you just start making the clouds swirl about, making funny shapes. Then kind of pull it out and almost making a small ball. Just kind of throw it up in the air, catch it again, throw it up in the air, and catch it again. The magic allowing you to do so. It's an interesting time and distracts you as the sun continues to rise higher and the fog continues higher and the humidity begins rising, and you already start the beads of sweat already start congealing around the insides of your armor, and it just kind of makes it shuffle a little bit in your armor. Uncomfortable.
Quite aware, like trying to keep track of where the sound of that voice was. He's more so trying to buy time or pass time with it. Though,
After biding your time, you do come to the idea. Decent. Again. Another growl. And this will be just about the end of your watch. And the sun's maybe about, give or take, 4 hours? So that'd be 3 o'clock in the morning, just about 6 o'clock. So your watch ends just about 9 o'clock in the morning. So the sun is up. And you see it's breaking through the usual overcast sky.
who was the next person that was going to be taking the next shift?
I believe that would be either Nehrim
Me.
or Ryoka.
That is me.
Alright, he kind of just like pokes Nehrim up. No, should I be an ass and just use the water I have?
You're gonna
Nah,
make Nehrim wake up?
nah,
Not me.
nah.
Even though
Near.
I called for third watch.
Okay, he's gonna just tap Ryoka then. Just patting him in the head to wake him up.
She lifts her head. My turn?
Yep.
Then
So,
lay
be
your lazy
there.
ass down.
Who you calling late? Anyways, there's something out there. It's not
Something
coming.
how.
Something that's growling, and I can't see it in the fog.
Fantastic. I'll keep an
Uh,
eye out. Duh.
Actually, I'm gonna let Valis just stay up. He's just gonna like sit on the
Alright,
cards.
so you just get yourself off your bedroll and out of the muck. Wring out your sleeping roll and head your way over. Eventually find yourself. It's a bit uncomfortable as the humidity and heat continue to rise. It just makes you sweat more, and it's just uncomfortable. You've gotten familiar to this in the swamp, right? Okay, as you kind of get up, you let the stretch out. You feel something different. Kind of wiggle your toes a little bit. One of your boots is missing.
She looks down, then looks around to the group. Who the hell stole my boot?
Looks around since everyone else is sleeping. He's just gonna see if he can notice the boots.
Make a perception check. It's still foggy as hell.
Who, me or
I
him?
bet.
Volus. That'll be Volus.
That plus 4. 17. Yeah.
Looking about, you see slight swirling in the fog. You see as it's gently moving. And you see as it's moving almost at a pace, at a little path.
I want my boot back.
And you watch as it continues further off, Volus. It's heading off into the swamp.
I
I
don't
wonder
think
if I
his...
should either attack it or not.
Does
Do you want
Ryoka
to-
see it?
Make a perception check. You're closer to.
23. That's a 17 plus 6.
So, as you're looking through and Volus is watching this, you kind of poke your head up and you actually see as part of the fog is swirling off in the distance. And you do see it. It's currently walking its way out towards what would be the road-like area that you've been traveling up and down.
How far away is it?
Maybe about 7-8 feet. It's not too far.
I take a dart and I throw it at it.
Target is currently obscured. You could make an attack, but it would be at a disadvantage.
Well, I get a plus 6 in it either way. So
Go
I'll
for
make
it.
that will
Minus
be a
1.
16.
All right. So as you hear this yipping sound, and it continues going through the fog at a quicker pace.
Ryoka goes after it.
Valis follows somewhat. And he is actually gonna use a spell of... Let's see what I can use.
Watch it be another gator dog.
No!
Guess the closest thing I can do
By
is
the way,
Ray of
game, I would
Frost.
like you to roll damage.
Oh, now I feel bad. Oh no, it's a 1d4. Watch me roll max damage. Okay, no, that's a 6.
I'm actually gonna follow and use my movement to or use my action to get far closer.
Closer. All right. So, getting closer to this is you kind of slopping your way through the mess of this. See, it's moving quickly. Game, what's the damage you roll on that?
6.
Yeah, it's moving quickly, but it's definitely not as fast as it should be moving.
I'm gonna use. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I. Okay, it's a 30-foot radius. How close is the swirling of
This
stuff?
swirling of fog, kind of using the fog as its cover, it seems to be maybe about 10, 11 feet in opening.
Okay, can I use shaped water, since we are in a swamp, to try to freeze the area it's in? Since it's a 5-foot of where I place it in a 30-foot range, can I try to freeze the water that's on the mucky water?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. +5, don't fail me. That's a 14, 15, 16. It's a 19.
Alright. So as you release the spell, you see as this congealing amount of almost frost starts billowing out of your hand, and then as you release it, and you see as the fog does catch to it, you see as parts of it just start condensing and almost turning into a rain and fall down to the ground. It doesn't seem to be able to lock on to the target since you can't really see it, as it seems to be obscured.
I don't know if I can catch it. Better be now. I don't think I can actually shoot it down.
Hold on, let me look. Oh, I have movement speed of 40.
Yeah, monks are fast.
Can I try to actually catch up to it?
You certainly can. Make a dexterity.
Dexterity, you say?
Yes. I know, something you're very good at.
Would it be a saving throw or just flat dexterity?
That would be a just flat dex.
That is 22.
2, alright. It's moving as fast as it can. It doesn't seem to be able to outrun you after taking that dart. If you'd like to, you can catch up to it. It's very simple, very easy. It's not moving very fast.
What?
Can I try to grapple it once I'm close enough?
Make a strength check, and this will be in acrobatics from this.
Strength, right?
Yep, strength.
That will be a math dirty 20. Wait, no, 18. Sorry.
All right, so as you go through the fog and you kind of dive out towards this creature that seems to be using the fog, and as you go through it, you kind of grab around. You feel a mixture of scale and fur as you kind of dive into the ground and mud with it. As you kind of hear yip as you grab onto it and slide about 5 feet through the mud.
That's a mood.
I'm gonna cry.
Gay.
No!
This has to be some bad irony right there.
This seems like it was planned. From...
Why, Grave?
You threw a dart at it.
For a second, you said something about something moving. I'm like, oh, it's the dog.
As soon as you said scale and fur, I'm cry.
Uh,
Ryoko
one-
goes to stand up, like trying to find its scruff and lift it up.
Pretty easy to do so. You just you hold it in a grapple. It's trying to struggle. It's doing so weakly, but it doesn't seem to be able to have the strength to get out of it.
Does
And
it
it's
have my boot?
And kind of grab it and feeling around for it. It does have some sort of a snout, but what would be your boot, you do hear kind of you hear it in the ground somewhere, and you kind of have to look through fog for it. You kind of reach your hand around and eventually find your boot, kind of pull it up. You can see there's a couple of chew marks on it, but you kind of slide your boot back on.
Ryoko lifts the creature up to like have a better look at it.
Lifting the creature up by this the scruff that you're able to find, you see almost a sextoped, 3 legs on each side, with a long reptilian-like tail. And you see the scales go from the back down towards the tail end, but you see as the just around the neck edge of it down towards the belly is a very grayish white fur. You see as the head end of it, you watch, comes out to a almost canine feature with 2 reptilian-esque ears, but you can see that they are very canine in their genetic.
Why?
And you currently see as there is a very heavy metal dart kind of lodged into where its hip meets its leg.
Which one?
And I feel like in the distance,
That would be the rear. That would be the, I'd say, rear right leg. So it'd be furthest. So there'd be 6th leg on the right, or 3rd leg on the right.
Ryoko feels bad since it's so goddamn cute. And like tries to remove the dart swiftly so it hurts less.
How about I do that since I think you're gonna do more harm than good, right? You
What
don't
if it
just
runs
rip out a
away?
dart. I think it's more fearful of us killing it than it being running away.
It's not even trying to snap at you. It knows it's caught. It knows it's probably gonna die. It's not even fighting it anymore.
Kind of like holds his hands out for it. Come on, let's just go back
Ryoka
to camp.
gives it to Valis.
Let's go back to camp. I'll deal with it with my medical kit in the cart. And I think that you should just finish your watch, okay?
Well, how was I supposed to know
You
that it
didn't,
was
but
this
hey.
cute little, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I thought it was another one of them freaking slime things, and it stole my boot.
Alright, let's please head back to camp before, say, like, another one of those slime things comes after you, and I think you'll want more than your boots. It says
So, Volus, I would like you to make a medicine check as you currently working on gonna try and remove this thing from the creature.
Okay.
I have my dart back.
Yes. We'll say he returns the dart once he finishes either hurting this creature more or fixing it.
Oh. 17.
Yeah. It's easy enough with your medical kit, especially. So as you holding this creature down, you kind of place it under the cart and kind of working your way with the dart as it's bunched in there with the muscle and a bit of the bone that's comprises part of the hip and the muscle that allows the leg to move. And as you kind of pull it out, you get this again, another yip.
Jeez, Ray, oh god. Remind me never get you pissed off when you're a decent shot. Holy shit. He like says still holding the
And start working your way through and bandaging it. Go ahead, roll a d4 plus your medicine.
Okay, D4 plus my medicine. 5.
5. All right. So, does seem to help the creature a little. It definitely seemed to have been hurt. The medicine you managed to pull out, and some, you know, it works for most humanoids, and you pull out this almost a moss-like substance. You just kind of squish it within your fingers and start putting it into the wound, and then you kind of put it over with a little bit of bandage, and then wrapping it around. It seems to help. The creature doesn't seem to move in pain. It just seems to be completely still. And you feel its muscles start to tense, like it's ready to move.
Guys, after he just sheds it off, like, calm head pat. He's not trying to make it look threatening, of course, since he is kind of making it look like he's still treating it. Just offer a head pat right after.
As you try and pat its head, it kind of withdraws from you, like it tries to fight against it, almost like it brings its head back away from you. You do eventually kind of put your head on it, and it still continues to fight against it.
Would I know about this creature? Or
Not really. These aren't from around where you are. Make a
yes, sir.
make a nature check. Let's say disadvantage.
Gotcha. At disadvantage, okay.
Yeah,
so
at disadvantage.
2 of these. 13.
You don't really know much about these creatures. Pretty much your first time seeing this.
I wonder what this thing is. It's like trying to keep it casual. Like it is fighting, but I wonder if it knows that he's not doing anything aggressive aside from it, the hand being on the head.
It looks, from what you can tell, it looks to be a scavenger. It doesn't look to be anything that's meant to be a predator or anything that looks to be some sort of a producer. Seems to be maybe a scavenger.
I think this might be a little bit better than, well, leather. He says, just with his other hand, just in his satchel, just takes out one of his dried meats rations and just offers it.
Doesn't seem to accept it.
Well, then I'm assuming they're at the carts.
Yeah. Kind of put over. The ground is still covered in maybe about a foot of fog. So to do it with any kind of actual vision or sight line on this creature, with easy sight line, you would have to put it up on the cart.
Okay, he just leaves. Like he puts the thing, since they're in the cart, he just kind of puts it on the ground on the cart and just like watches it for a moment. Then looks over.
As you put it down, the moment you remove your hands from it, it takes off. You hear the skittering of claws on wood, and you hear of the impact on mud, and you hear as it just dashes into the fog.
I feel so bad. Grape, why?
You've decided to attack it. So.
Oh, we tried to tame it. At least we can't say that we drove it off.
No, you did drive it off by attacking it. It's scared of
Well,
violence.
we already have it as a pet in a different campaign, so...
It's Topaz's. It's not the party's, it's Topaz.
Well, Tentic tamed it.
I know. I was making a joke.
I'm just imagining somewhere in the distance, Tenzek is just screaming at Ryoka, saying, You attacked it, and you just hear a bunch of swear words in Dark Elf.
And Undercommon just like, what?
You see Topaz too. Just
Who knows? Maybe we'll find another one of the things, unless if my guesses are correct, they might just be native to swamps. Who knows? We might find another one. Maybe this time it won't be a bit of a leather eater, but it's like that's it. Ryoka, it might be better if we just wake up the party. Maybe just already head out.
Well,
It's
how's the
only
horse look?
kind of looks over the horse. It's gonna be a lot more thirsty if we don't send it out now.
Alright. Right, okay. Would go to the nearest person to her and shake him awake.
Walk over and about nearest person to you would either be Zoram or Rowan.
Roland.
All right, so you go over and kind of shake Rowan. Rowan, you kind of find yourself shaken awake by a you don't know really who because it seems to be obscured to you by a layer of fog.
5 more minutes, please.
No, get up now.
I want to sleep.
No, get on the cart. Oh wait, yeah.
I'm tired.
Why you're gonna
Okay,
sleep
kicks
in
him
the
in the
cart?
ribs.
I
Or
just
more
jolt
like
up.
jabs him in the ribs with the toe of her foot.
Dink.
I just jump. I'm just like, oh, fine.
You can take a nap in the cart once we're starting to move.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Just slowly get up, stretch a little, and wander over to the cart, making a makeshift pillow and just immediately falling asleep again.
He's kind of getting up. Oh, fuck you. I'm going to go back to sleep anyway. Kind of throwing back together your sleeping roll, throwing it into the cart, going over, just kind of falling back to sleep across the bench of the back cart.
At that precise moment, you just hear Nehrim just wake up with a big scream. Just apparently waking from a nightmare.
You guys just sound as Nehrim just kind of jolts himself awake.
You
What happened?
right
What-
there, buddy?
What happened?
You okay?
I think I am, yes.
We're having dreams about the frog people again. He like says in a amused tone.
No, not the frog people.
What were you dreaming about?
I only saw red. Only blood.
Okay, you mind getting in the
Okay.
cart?
Cryptic, edgy nightmares aside, we better start moving before it gets too hot for the horse.
Yeah, that sounds like an idea. Let me get back behind the
Oh.
reins. He just stands up, packs up his stuff, and starts getting the cart ready.
And for the sake of it, let's just say we wake everyone up, unless they too have nightmares to share.
If they don't get up, Ryoka kicks him in the ribs.
Iris got up without problem. She would actually offer to drive the cart if Nehrim wanted to take a break or something.
No, it's fine. I can do it.
Mm-hmm. She dips her hat and she kind of goes to take a seat in the back, trying to be careful of the sleeping.
Alright. So. Getting yourselves back onto the cart after the morning's exercises and other excitement. Here, Zoram just kind of get up and start looking around. Grumble and get over onto the cart. You can see as he takes out a familiar stick to all of you, thing he's been focusing on. You see as he kind of sits back and he seems to go back into his trance. You see as his mouth forming these archaic words. And watches this magic flowing from one hand flows through the stick into his other. And as he continues focusing on this, he watches the magic just continues to flow through, almost like. And as the cart takes off, Nero, I'd like you to go ahead and make your animal handling check.
This time it's an 11. 9 plus 2.
No real problem there. Eventually taking yourself off. And the horse does give some kind of tired pull at the wagon, but it's definitely, it's strong enough to keep going on. It's definitely tired though. You guys have been pushing this thing hard.
This poor horse.
But you all eventually get on your way. Just about maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. As you continue pulling along the cart, it takes about, the road between Lord Blaine's and the town is just about day and a half. You guys have traveled it before. It does get slower or faster depending on how fast you travel, but eventually making your ways around, you do find you get roughly about a quarter of the way there before the horse just starts getting visibly tired.
Once we reach the town, we might need to just be careful of what's to come. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if Lord Blaine would try to send some scouts to try to investigate that intruder incident. But we might have to stay in the town for the next day or so, since this horse is rather exhausted by the looks of it. Kind of
We're gonna
wet
have to
a little
leave the
yawn
horse
after.
anyway.
Yeah, well, at least it's gonna catch a break. I'm assuming the cup is. We still have the cup in our possession. He's just saying.
Yes, you still. You would suppose you still did.
Who has it? Don't remember.
Currently, the person who had it would be either Rowan or Ryoka.
All right.
I would
You would
assume
have.
I have it, I think. The designated Mr. Cup Holder. Or,
You're
well,
a cup holder. Okay.
undesignated Mr. Cup Holder.
Specifically, Mr. Cup. Get it right.
No,
I just have to get my doctorate and become Dr. Holder.
Cups aside, let's just get the town ready. It's already been long enough. Full loop, as you might call it.
I mean, at this point, I don't even think it's a loop. We've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it's more like a line that's never ending, and I just want my treasure.
Yes, you all want your treasure. Very well.
I'm more so for the adventure than coin, but doesn't mean you're getting a pay
does Mr.
raise.
Cup feel opposed to giving us treasure after we technically still did as he asked?
Right,
Yeah.
okay. I think you're gonna piss it off to the point is you said that, or he's kind of looking at.
I'd like to get out my bagpipes.
I think the moment that this thing comes out, I think it's gonna hunt for you first, Ryoka. Just as a thought.
Nah, he loves me.
I love none of you. You are
I'm
all
your favorite, though,
incompetent.
right?
I think more than, of us. He just despises some of us less than the others, Ryoka. And I think you and me are pretty high up there on the list of people he hates.
I know.
Isn't that right, Mr. Cup?
The one I despise amongst you less would be the one Drive, as he manages to keep himself at least in some area of bliss of thought.
Huh? What?
Hey, Hey, you. Have a chat with our cup. I just
Nah.
hold out the cup towards Nehrim, just, lightly bonking it against his forehead.
Nehrim just tries to keep his eyes on the road. Just like furiously
He reaches
ignoring
over
Are we
him.
there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there
Okay.
yet?
Val's is just gonna take the cup and just go in front with Nehrim. I think it's time we just.
How dare
Stop
you
trying
take
to-
Mr. Cup from us?
Hey, you have
I can-
cup-napped him. Stop
You have
cup-napping.
Cup blocked us.
Yeah, stop cup blocking us.
What the?
I'm about to put sleep on you two if you keep your.
Go
yourselves
ahead,
dicking
try
about.
it. Go ahead.
And there are other ways to make you
Parties.
sleep.
Dare you? That's
Try me, bitch.
our Mr. Cup. It's our Mr. Cup, not your Mr. Cup.
Never said it was mine, but again, you need to. There needs to be some at least seriousness with you
You
too.
guys need to take a chill pill, like Jesus.
But he
He-
took
he then
Mr.
just-
Cup.
Yes,
He
he
just
did
goes
take
and
Mr. Cup.
looks ahead and just like still hold the cup
The cup
casually.
didn't even want to be taken.
We have cup-napped him.
Yes,
Exactly.
he wanted to be cup napped.
No, he didn't.
Actually, no. This is just a surprise adoption.
The amount of cell is fleeting whenever
believe me,
listening
I've-
to any of you speak.
Hey, on the
It
It
bright
can't
is
be
side,
that bad.
It
Mr.
is
Cup,
infuriating to
Mr.
even
Cup.
be in your mind to
Mr. Cup,
speak.
think of it this way. Once we return you, you won't have to see us ever again. Huh?
Of that, I will most grateful.
We still get your treasure, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
we do get it, right?
Rayota, stop about the
I mean,
treasure.
here's the thing. If we don't get the treasure, we'll just make sure that we, visit you daily, have a little chat with you.
Yeah, we want
Ay.
treasure support.
I just need to focus on the road. Everything's okay.
And yeah, same with Valis. You just ignore them before things get bad.
So, Mr. Cup, now that we've rescued you, what's up with Lord Blaine?
He said that last time.
Yeah, but we can't ask Lord Blaine.
No, the cup said that he was.
Yeah, we know he's old. But how old?
You just feel
What
the
is-
cup recede back into itself.
God damn it! Don't avoid us. We've talked about this, Mr. Cup. This is a toxic relationship we're in. Mr. Cup.
I feel so bad for this goddamn cup.
I feel even worse for Grape having to freaking think of this.
Not only do I have to DM you guys, I have to think of how a trapped entity or a trapped soul inside of a chalice of high education and power would think of you guys squabbling and saying, Mr. Cup, hey, what do you think if we did this? Pretty much. Have you ever heard the most annoying sound in the world? It's like Dumb and Dumber, and I have
feel-
to act like the guy in between them.
I just feel like I can just I think you can agree with me in this. I think some of the people are losing brain cells from this.
Yeah, probably.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Alright, so, now. Continuing along your adventure comes to be just about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys have been traveling for a while. doing so, it's, you definitely see the horse is wearing down. You guys have definitely, you've gone night after night pushing this horse, and it has very little rest. Pretty much think of it as Animal Farm right now. The horse just keeps giving and giving. So, you guys want to stop, give a rest, or are you guys...
Let's take a rest.
Well, I don't want this horse to become a communist and, like,
What?
kill me in my sleep.
What?
How do you think communism
Okay,
works?
out of all the things I've heard today, that
He
takes the
referred
cake.
to Animal Farm.
What the?
At this point, this horse is getting more tired of us. Getting
I
more
think-
tired than Mr. Cup. We should take a rest.
You hear as it continues walking through.
Let's just rest for at least an hour.
Yeah,
Nothing too bad, but how far should we be from the town?
Just about, give or take, about another 70-ish miles.
Yeah, let's just rest for now. Nothing too large, just at least a quick rest.
Nothing to report here.
Yeah, that's definitely a quote right there. Don't want this horse to turn communist and kill me in my sleep. That's a quote. Certainly a quote.
Out of all the shit I've heard today, that really does take the cake.
Do you got a problem with it?
Very much. Yes.
Why?
'Cause what sense does that make?
He was referring to Animal Farm.
All right. So now, all finding yourselves in this situation of talking to yourselves, the cup, to yourselves again. And as you eventually finding yourselves, because it's maybe just about another half a day's travel to get there. So it's getting to be just about 7, 8 o'clock-ish in the evening. It's getting late in the day.
I'd like to get out the bagpipes and start playing.
You can get out your bagpipes and start playing your beautiful melodious tone.
Who said it was beautiful or who said it was melody?
Exactly.
Yes. Speaking.
what I mean.
Language 100.
It's definitely not the best music, as you guys hear this echoing, reverberating sound of bagpipes within about 5 feet of you. It's very loud, very annoying.
So how much
oh my
psychic damage
God,
does the
please
party
stop.
take?
How dare you give him ideas like that, Nehrim?
Uh-oh.
God damn it!
Uh-oh.
All right. So we have 1, 9.
This is from like off his dice.
All right.
We're taking like 100 damage.
Everyone just falls over.
You all take 7 brain cells worth of damage.
Alright,
Oh, goddamn. Now I need to roll my death save. I mean, what?
Oh, great. Now my intelligence score is at 1.
You sort of say it's loud, it's deafening, and it hurts.
How much psychic damage do we take?
7.
Hmm.
Nah.
I would
You said
assume
you took 7
I'm-
brain cell damage.
I would assume I'm not affected because it's both of you to assume I have 7 brain cells.
Exactly.
Why did you decide to play the bagpipes again? You kind of looked back.
Are you enjoying it?
Not really.
Exactly. I just, flash my best smile. Just, yeah, that's the point.
And he continues playing.
I swear, one of these characters is gonna fucking snap just because of bagpipes.
That is over here slowly starting to understand Mr. Cup more and more.
No. This has happened. Bagpipes blaring off into the swamp woods, announcing your presence everywhere. As this happens, day continues to get longer and longer, the sun getting lower and lower. As it does, horse eventually not even stopping after a few moments, you see as it actually stops itself, pulls over to the side and just stops.
Anyone else getting the feeling that the horse is done?
Right.
Anyone else
think
getting
so,
the feeling
too.
that Mr. Cup is done?
That I can agree on.
Is Mr. Cup done ignoring us? Finger crossbows.
Yes, I'm rather done ignoring. And now on to the fact that I am no longer listening to you.
You've given up on
Well,
us.
that's still ignoring us.
In your words, yes. In mine, it is pretending as though you do not exist.
Just
Because
leave,
your words are that meaningless to me.
just
Why
leave
did
the
you
cup
get
alone.
rid of it?
I'm sorry, I didn't think I would get rid of yours as well.
Funnily enough, it also got rid of the map.
Wait, what? Fuck!
Wait, what?
Easy.
I was trying to get rid of the mess I made.
No, he's just gonna step off. Look for the nearest clearing where we could set up camp. Just gonna.
Make an investigation check. Just make a quick investigation check.
Alright, that is a 6. 7 minus 1.
You find an area that seems open and clear. The moment you kind of step onto it, it kind of sinks down to about your knee
Yeah,
in mud, and you
not that one.
it takes your wildest going.
You need help, Nehrim.
And you eventually kind of
It's fine, it's fine.
pull your leg out of the mud eventually.
See? Everything's alright. Where's my boot?
And as you look down, you kind of notice your boots somewhat missing. Your entire leg covered in pretty
Damn
much
it.
knee down to your toes in mud, and just
He just reaches where the hole in the mud is now, just like digging around for his boot.
make an investigation check, sir. You just kind of like.
This is an 11 this time. 12 minus 1.
You feel something kind of. It's giving you resistance.
I think I got it. Just a moment.
You put your second hand in there. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay.
Oh my god. If you found
That is
another
a
one,
natural
please,
20! For 23.
All right. So as you
Okay, he finds a dog.
flock, you guys watch as this rather bulbous and rotund mound of mud just starts slowly slocking out, almost like a sword in the stone. And as he pulls on it, it and it pretty much launches the mud out of your hands. You're holding onto your boot just as this huge glob of mud blurts over. And you actually see inside of it, there's actually what looks to be some sort of a skull. You see the skull has multiple roots and rotund amount of bones coming out of it. You see it's almost one seems to be broken, and where you saw a hint of leather on it, from what you can tell as you kind of look at it. And it seems that's what was kind of holding and snagging onto your boot. And as you were holding onto it and removing it, you see as it finally released and launched and landed somewhere near the cart.
I was not prepared for that.
You have your
What's
boot
this,
back,
then?
though.
Yeah. Oh, at least I got this. He just kind of wipes it off and puts it back on.
Kind of turn it over and just like almost a soy sauce just kind of slops out of mud. Just kind of shake it out and put your boot back on. Flock. That's going to need some cleaning later.
Let's go.
Why
Why
Yeah, what's
don't
this
we
then?
rest in the cart where it's at least better than
Yeah, but
sinking
Nehrim
into-
has to like put his feet over the side, cause like that's kind of gross.
Well, unless you rather want to go searching around losing more of your footwear. I
Well,
think-
yes, I agree. We go in the cart, but Nehrim has to keep his feet off the cart.
Alright. He just goes to the back of the cart.
Goes to the
So
back of the cart where everybody else is currently.
Well, okay, like he just takes his bedroll, puts it on the road.
He's got to lay it out. Lay it out in mud. You could sleep in the driver's on the driver's cab portion.
Well,
Wouldn't
yeah,
it be comfortable to sleep there?
No, he's just gonna stay there.
All right. So finding yourself asleep onto the roadside as everybody else sleeping in the cart. Will there be a watch designated for the night?
I'll take the very first watch.
Right.
Do a meditation.
I'd like you to go ahead and make a perception check.
All right. +5. Here we go. Perception. Or no, +4. My bad. 13.
13. All right. So as you looking about, you keep hearing the familiar croaks and other insectoid sounds coming from the swamp, and it seems peaceful. And the heat from the usual day starts dying slowly, and the humidity as well starts eventually going down. As you continue looking about, and it gets a little bit more comfortable, even the sweat underneath your armor starting to cool slightly. Eventually, your watch does end. Nothing seems to happen. Nothing catches your eye, which is odd.
Granted of Valis' paranoia, he continues to at least stay up since no one else was. He does occasionally just look at the cup he's held. Sometimes just satchel bag.
Pull it out, looking at it. Well, you know, sometimes the dark and other such when things are alone, there are ideas that swirl, connect. What do you draw me for?
What do I think? What do I draw of you? A person who's perhaps, though I know not of your motives. But who knows? Though I will say, I'm trying to remember if he actually gave a name or
Nope.
not.
Mr. Cup.
He never gave his name.
Let me think. Well, despite not knowing your motives, talking Alice, I don't know your name. I just like the thrill of at least seeing where this goes, for better or worse. I won't say you are good, but I won't say you are bad either. At least from unknowing of you person.
Good and bad have two very blind to them. Why walk between both? You can take one and follow. The light, good. The dark seems to be easier. So, which path do you take?
I more see myself on the fine line that draws between the both. The grayscale.
Interesting.
I know I'm not a good person, but I'm not inherently evil.
Many of those around you aren't inherently evil either. They seem to be rather moronic, to say it best. You, however, have promise. You definitely find yourself to be worthwhile to me.
I did notice in that tower you had quite the array of literature, though
Ah,
I wouldn't say that I know any of it. At least it's not my languages that I've known.
not many can read what I have. However, your attempt, and still having the head upon your shoulders that you have, sparks curiosity myself. You definitely find a sort of mentor for myself if you
Bless you.
ever find yourself in the essence of reading. I would love to enlighten.
I'll consider your offer. Though I can only ask that you just bear with the group for a little longer. At least for now.
I'm not saying you wouldn't challenge the good that you have, nor any other idea. However, all I ask is that if you wish to,
You've cut out grape.
all that I say is that if you wish to learn, that you simply ask.
If that's the case, I guess I'm inclined to agree. Knowledge is a form of power after all, is it not?
Yes, it is. A very good power. A bold one to have at that. Speaking with you reminds me of a compatriot I once had. A shame what happened to him. Perhaps you can replace him once.
May I ask what happened to him?
You may ask. But I will not tell. You feel the presence from the chalice return back into itself. You feel the that almost sliver of energy pulsing itself out of your mind. You feel it exit from the back and then congeal back into this chalice.
Quite an interesting fellow. This is before putting it back into his satchel bag. He's gonna have another rotation of a watch before he himself was going to sleep.
All right, so you're going to take 2 watches?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make another perception check for me. This will be a disadvantage because it is, since you're taking 2 watches, the reason being for that is the reason it's split up is so people don't get tired, that sort of thing. So I'd like you to make this next check at disadvantage, please.
Okay, so rolling the first one, rolling the second one. 11.
11. Definitely finding it hard to stay awake. It's like your one eye is sort of drifting back as you find yourself like falling back, starting to almost sleep. Kind of have to shake yourself awake every once in a while. You manage to keep an eye out for the most part.
And
Looking
since
out
there's-
and yeah,
Oh, never mind. Keep going. I'll wait.
continue looking forward and about. Nothing seems to attract your attention. Except you do see, it looks to be about 3 figures, kind of slowly walking their way through the swamp. And they don't seem to be coming towards you, but they seem to be going from left to right from your position in the cart. No light, just 3 figures.
Kind of. Who's behind him?
So you would have to, so getting out of the cart and traveling your way over. Really can't see much. The figures carrying no light, nothing. It's very hard to make them out. Especially just, it's not only dark here, it's pretty much a new moon. There's no moonlight. The only thing here would be starlight. You guys never set a fire. You never said anything. So it's pretty much relying on your dark vision here, and all you see are 3 figures going through the brush.
Right, he's gonna try to wake up. Let's see, who can I wake up to annoy?
Oh god.
Let's see. Let's get Ryoka to lose her other shoe. I'm just gonna tap Ryoka, say to him, "Hey, I need you to be on watch. There's like 3 people I think are about. Just keep an eye on them while I at least take a little."
Okay. Right, okay, sits
You
up.
Go over and
rubs
kind
her
of
eyes.
tell them awake. Volus, you're currently like
About
just
to go.
awake. You're just awake.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to the front of the car and just go and do meditation.
Make your way forward, and you have trouble even doing that. Like you're stumbling forward, you're so tired. Eventually making your way into the car, you're gonna have to pull your legs in, getting yourself into a position to meditate. Trying to find the ease to do so, but you're just so tired you can't really focus until eventually it does find you, like a knife cutting through a sheet of paper. Kind of eventually makes its way through. And there's some tearing involved, but you do eventually find your concentration and your focus. And Ryoki watches, he just kind of stumbles over and kind of falls asleep in his meditative state. And as you grumble your way up, don't really see anything. Make a perception check if you wish.
I'm gonna pull out a dart and just kind of twist it in my fingers as I'm looking out.
Pretty much doing the Jack Sparrow with the coin, kind of flick, 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 in between, walking it in between your fingers and knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Make a perception. And your perception check?
23, 17 plus 6.
So, looking about, you actually see a lot of things you previously hadn't noticed. You actually see multiple of these swamp beasts you've seen before, these sleek, long, black reptilian creatures. You see about 3 of them kind of walk about maybe 10 feet away from the cart. And you watch as their eyeless figures just kind of sniff about, pacing around the cart. You don't get closer to it, they just examine it. And watch as eventually one kind of... And as it gets closer, you hear it no longer makes a sound in the mud. You watch as it's just walking forward, and it's almost like it's walking on a cloud. You can't hear it. You just see it.
Right,
As it
okay,
gets-
watches it carefully.
As you watch it, you watch as the mouth starts to spread open in the almost flower-like figure, and the tongue starts snaking out, and it touches the wood, and then continues along as the creature starts sidestepping and continues around, almost examining the entirety of the cart.
And she raises the dart, ready to throw it if it gets anywhere near the party. Like, its tongue gets anywhere near, like, a person, you know?
Watch as the tongue continues around, and pops over the railing portions of it, and continues snaking through. And eventually, around the front, you watch as this figure, the tongue immediately just kind of flicks off the cart and onto the horse. And
That's
then
a no-no.
and then the tongue withdraws, and you hear this.
Right, okay, throws the dart at it.
And then as it makes this sound, you see as the other two figures start moving towards, and as you immediately pull your hand back and release the dart, go ahead and make a ranged attack.
That's a natural 20 plus 6.
Go ahead and make your damage roll. So as you release it, it's go, as it's turning back around, it has to kind of open its mouth flap slightly to make this sound. And as you do so, you just immediately, almost side-handed, like a sidewinder, just kind of throw it through. It cuts through the air, and you watch as it just enters the mouth and kind of, and you watch as the dart, almost the fat tip of it, poking through the slight cheek flap at the rear of the mouth where the thicker muscle meets. And you hear this going,
Do I roll damage?
yes. That's what I said. Roll damage.
Oh, sorry. That is, that is 8 damage. That because I 1d4 plus 4. Do I double it because it was a 20?
Yes.
So 16 points of damage.
So it's you roll the die, then you double the die, and then you add your modifier.
Oh, okay. So 8, 12 then.
12. All right. So as you release it, you do watch as it penetrates the cheek and actually goes further through, almost creating this hole in the side of its mouth. And as it does, it immediately retracts. It goes retracts from the cart, and you watch as the others, hearing this yip, do the exact same, almost like a startled cat. It's kind of, and you watch as they start arcing up on their backs, and they're gently plodding away from it. Their eyeless heads watching this cart.
She readies another dart.
Make an intimidation check.
I told you guys, bitch is scary with a dart. I mean, what?
She is scary with a dart. Plus 3. So that is 17.
17.
Yes.
You watch the one with the hole in its mouth currently, with the dart barely hanging out of it, as it starts kind of backing itself up.
Roka just kind of mumbles to herself, "That's what I thought."
It starts to turn, wander back into the swamp, and continue holding the dart ready to just continue to keep pelting this creature. But it seems it's learned its place, and it slowly backs away, learning it's going to take more damage than it feels like it's necessary. Starts wandering back into the swamp. Sees it. Turns back around, and you hear this. And you see as the other two start traveling back in through. And as they seem to follow back with it into the dark, and watches their forms, even with how well trained you are at spotting things, you watch as the black, sleek shapes of these figures just meld into the swamp and disappear.
And she still keeps a watchful eye around the cart, twirling walking the dart between her fingers again.
Walking between your fingers and knuckles and continue watching. Nothing immediately stands out to you as those figures had approached. Eventually, the sun does start breaking through the night sky. You see as the dawn emerging, highlighting these reds and almost pink shades coming through the canopies and cloud. You do eventually see around the campsite, nothing seems to have bothered you through the night. Everybody else seems to be sleeping soundly. Those meditating seem to be meditating. But everything seems to be in order. No boots missing. No creatures attempting to steal a late night snack. Everything seems okay. Seems. Eventually you watch as the rest of the party starts stirring in their semi-awake states. Watch as one eventually just kind of as Rowan just finally gets himself up. You see his familiar bagpipe pillow there. And everybody else starts stirring awake in the cart.
For how many hours have I been sleeping now?
You've been asleep for just about 12, 13 hours. You've been just flat out knocked.
Just
No.
slowly look around.
Are you ever awake?
What?
I'm almost tempted to say something.
As you
to
ask this
Nehrim.
question, you watch as Nehrim pops his head up from below the cart.
What happened? Oh. Huh? Could have sworn someone talked to me.
I made sure that those weird swamp creatures didn't eat you or the horse last night. Just saying.
You could have just given
It's
them a
cool,
little bit
too.
of frog
Sent
person.
a dart
you know?
through its head.
Could have just given it some frog person. They love that shit.
Yeah, but target practice is more entertaining as she walks the dart between her fingers.
Well,
Still like resting.
Wait, what are you guys going on about?
You almost got eaten last night.
Huh. Well, that's not good.
now let's get back to the challenge, shall we?
I
We
guess.
wanna return Mr. Cup to his rightful home.
Nehrim just gets up, stretches, packs up his bedroll, and gets back to the driver's seat.
Wiping the usual mud, just gotta getting that off and rolling your bedroll back up. It's nice. And not having to deal with the usual waking up and struggling to find a good place to just finally do your morning routine. As you do eventually, go ahead and make a animal handling check, trying to get the cart in motion. You still see the horse definitely still looks tired. It looks drained.
Well, I'm gonna ride it. Well, I'm gonna try to let it go at a slower pace, just so it doesn't have
Okay.
to work as hard.
All right.
I
That
say
is a
after
14.
this,
12 plus 2.
I just- I'd like to just look at the horse, look at the rest of the party, and go. I'd say after this we should get a new horse.
Taking through as this horse continues, you do get it to move. It does take a slower pace even without you needing to say so. It takes off maybe at a very slow trot. It's noticeable. And eventually traveling through the day, I would like Nehrim, Ryoka, and this will be also Valis. I'd like you all to make perception checks, please. Actually,
just
this will
say
be
he will-
Iris as well, since you all have the highest passive perception. This will be Iris's.
Okay.
Alright.
And what is perception?
That is a 17 from Nehrim.
That's a 26 from Ryoka with a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
15.
What is
I
perception
got
again?
15.
That'd be a d20 plus your wisdom.
That is a natural 20 plus 2.
Y'all need to stop using weighted dice, I swear to God.
I
Alright,
have metal dice. They're
Here's-
amazing.
Here's the thing.
Metal
I already,
dice.
I gave up all my luck last time, rolling 3 nat 1s in a row.
You
I
did.
also got a natural 20 on the dice that absolutely hate me.
I've been getting lower rolls. At
Oh, for
least
God's
today.
sake. Alright, so
At least we don't
Eventually.
have. At least, I'm just gonna say this. At least we don't have like who was it on the other party that had always got crits, like back to back.
I just realized that the only nat 20 I've rolled so far is about telling a guards to go find myself.
essentially, yeah, that's when you pretty
I
much
need you to go
dressed,
look for me.
yeah, you dressed as a servant and then said, "Hey, the other guy's out there. You need to go find him."
I just realized that, like, the moment they left, the old guy's just gonna get in so much fucking trouble.
Alright, so, as you all keeping an eye out along the road as you continue following through, you all looking over to the west side of the cart and see 3 figures. They look humanoid. Ryoka, you, Iris, and Clyde. You all actually do notice this. You actually see as these figures, while seeming humanoid, don't seem to shamble. They don't seem to walk. And they seem to follow the cart.
I throw a dart at him. She says, like, very
Make
curiously.
Go ahead and attack. Make an attack roll.
No. She's asking
Oh,
the party. Should I throw a dart at them?
Maybe
too.
we should get closer and see what they do.
Throw a dart at what?
Ryoka points to the figures.
Would I be able to see the figures?
with some assistance after she points them out, yeah, you'd be able to.
You'd be like, where? And she'd be like, here. And then, like, have to take your head and probably move it.
Just squint a little bit until I finally see what I think the rest sees, and just. I mean, before he throws a dart, how far would you say that is?
Judging the distance, maybe about 35-ish feet.
You can make that.
Um,
I could just use one of my cantrips.
Let me try something first. I want to cast Mind Sliver at whichever creature I can see the best out of the ones that are there.
Alright, and that's Mind Sliver. Remind me again what the spell does?
1d6
It,
psychic
um,
damage.
Yep, 1d6
Alright.
second damage on an intelligence saving throw. So
An
they have,
intelligence saving throw.
yes.
Oh, that's a -2. So that's a 0.
So they take 1d4. I mean, wait, 1d6 psychic damage.
And as the spell goes out,
Hold on.
it has
D6.
no effect.
No effect?
No effect.
No effect.
Seems whatever sort of damage this spell doesn't seem to latch on to whatever this figure is.
I do have a question though. Even if it doesn't do damage, would the effect that it has still apply?
And what is the effect?
The effect is the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of your next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the save.
No, that would not. It just the spell got through, but it had the damage had no effect.
Okay, but does the effect does apply, right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
As I had said.
Alright.
He kind of looks where he did the mind sliver.
I'm pretty sure that hit, but what?
Yeah, as you bring your hands back, this familiar red glow starts forming in your hands, and as you point it out and send it, you see as it connects with the figure and attempts to do its usual seeping into its mind, but as it does, no effect. It just seems to fizzle.
That's odd.
And you watch the figure just continue shambling along.
Maybe Mr. Cup knows what those are.
Mr. Cup! That's
Yes.
Do you
You
know,
know what
those
that
are?
is.
Yeah, as you're looking around for Mr. Cup, you watch as Volus finally kind of takes the cup out of his pouch and holds it out. You actually hear almost a sigh of interest. Yeah, I know. You almost feel a mental smile start creeping, almost like a Grinch grin. Like it starts, you feel this slow grin start forming in the back of your mind.
Mr. Cup, are those your people?
No,
Sure, people.
I know what those are.
Mind
What
telling
are
us?
they?
You will find out sooner.
You know,
Let us get on to our adventure.
No.
If
What
they
are
don't-
they?
And
Is
you
it
feel
not-
itself recede back into the chalice.
You little! I swear to God, I'm gonna fill you up with
Alright.
mud.
Okay, give me the cup. Give me the cup.
Look, hey,
Give me the cup.
look. As long as those things aren't attacking us, we're good. We better just head to town before either the horse dies of exhaustion, or those things come after us. Right now we have some distance, so let's just make use of that, please.
You know what? There's a reason why you're the smart one. Let's go.
Can I fill him up with mud first?
No.
No.
And this is when Valis uses sleep on Ryoka. I mean, what?
Ah!
Do it, you won't.
Uh,
So,
Meanwhile, at the front of the cart, nothing happens.
Val,
you
is
hear
in the
this, Nehrim.
front.
You hear this, but you
Val
don't.
is next to you, Nehrim.
Could I take out a piece of frog person and throw it towards the three figures?
You reach in and kind of grab out this very murky feeling, gamey meat slab that you pulled out from one of the frog people. You could throw it, but it's kind of gummy in your hands. It smells horrible.
I'm pretty sure I asked Nehrim to preserve it in some way above the fire last time. Cook it, anything at all.
No,
He tried to, but it still smells bad.
Alright, well, I just throw it towards the three figures.
Throwing it over towards the three figures doesn't seem to attract their attention.
Well, not my
Keep an eye
problem.
on them. If they get any closer, we could try attacking with spells. Let's just please get on with this.
Ah, yes, my favorite spell, frog person.
I'll bear it back.
but eventually, just about another 2-3 hours of travel, do you see the familiar outline of the small swamp village of Bolodo? One you've become familiar with. Making your way into it as the cart slowly pulls up to your usual stopping place. As you all dismount, disconnect the cart from the horse and tying the horse to one of the local hitching posts. Then take the cart and store it over in the usual place you hold it, just about to the side of one of the buildings. Nobody seems to mess with it. You stand about, the humidity is already starting to build in the town. The bugs are out, already covered in mosquito bites. The armor helps, but it still sucks.
I'd like to.
Damn it. Yes?
I'd like to just head over to the
I'm back.
port or the harbor area.
You can head over to the port or harbor area. Yeah.
You know, just look for someone who might be on one of those similar boats where Johan and Joseph were on, but not. I don't want to talk to Johan nor Joseph.
Make a investigation check, please.
I feel like if I ask them to bring us back, they're just gonna say no. That's a. Give me a second. Investigation, you say? 10.
Looking about, it seems everybody else has already taken off. There are no other. There's about 2 or 3 other boats, but those seem to be being worked on. They're currently being repaired in some areas. But other than that, the only boat you see is a familiar broad-spined, no spine, broad bow. It's a very thick swamp ship that you can normally see. Familiar with it. You see a familiar bulky figure of Johan as he stands there currently working a butchering knife for one of these swamp beast corpses.
I'd like to just, slowly walk to him, having this apologetic look on my face. Just go like, hey, buddy.
You almost see this like quizzical raising of a head, just like I know that voice. You almost see it just kind of come back in, almost like a frown. Yes, my friend. How can I help you?
So,
You
remember
turns
that-
around.
remember that tower?
Yes, I know this tower. I have taken it to you. I've taken you to it many times.
Yeah, how much would it cost us for you to bring us back there?
It depends. How willing are you to pay?
I mean, I'd have to talk to the party about it, but 10 gold pieces.
10 gold.
Yeah,
I might not have to work today.
Yeah, I mean,
I will happily take 10 gold.
We're friends at this point. I'm glad to do a favor.
I will happily take 10 gold from you and take you to this tower. Joseph might be of another mind, however, it is less what he thinks and more of myself because I can steer the boat.
Yeah.
So,
if anything, if we need just raw muscle, we always have Nehrim to push to help.
interesting.
All right. Well, we'll come back later then. Just we need to check on the rest, see if they have anything to do here before we head back to the tower. And I just go back to join the group.
So as you head back to the group, you just watch as Johan just turns back around and starts going right back to butchering the corpse.
Alright, so we have passage over to the tower. Is there anything we want to do here before we go?
Yeah, I want to see if I can buy more darts.
We should probably restock on supplies while we can.
Yeah, I think I need some rations. Maybe some ingredients to cook.
All right. Well, let's go do that, and then let's go back to the tower.
All right. So, as you make your way back towards the party and discuss this, all of you finding out just some of the things that you need. You wouldn't know where to procure them, but you certainly know that you possibly need them. So,
We don't know where to procure them.
not necessarily. I mean, you've been here a while, but you never really bought anything. The only thing you've bought here is booze.
All right. I'd like to go to the tavern. Just look for the tavern keeper.
All right, and head over to the tavern and find him easily.
Hey, so where could we, buy food, buy rations for a long trip? Because I know this place is excellent for a short stay. But we need something a little bit more durable. No.
What kind of durable are you looking for?
Just, something that will last a long time.
In what instant?
I don't know. Vegetables, dried vegetables, fruits, I guess. Meat.
We can't do much for you on the way of vegetables, but we can supply the meat. Plenty of that going around.
Alright, would you know where we could find the rest? Oh, and darts. Do you know if there's anyone selling weapons, especially darts, around here?
There isn't much in the way of weapons we sell here. The best you can find is down with Taylor. He mainly does weapon repair with most of the fishing equipment. Darts are not something he's especially used to. Best I'm familiar with are the darts over there on the board. But
I mean, I'm sure if we give him a sample, it would be right.
he might. I'm not sure.
Alright,
I'll
well,
definitely check with him.
where can I find him?
Down at the usual. He's small, almost pavilion-like place. If you look for it, it's down there. There's a mixture of corpses there. Currently being either gutted, processed, that sort of thing. You can definitely go in there, check if you want.
Right. What did you say his name was?
Taylor.
Taylor. Alright, got it. Thank you. Just wander out, head towards the swamp beast corpse processing area. Just
It's easy enough. Heading over, you do see it's a pavilion-like building. You see it's pretty much wide open. You see there are about 4 or 5 racks of these swamp beasts, all dangling from about 3 feet in length to about 7. It's a wide variety. You see a mixture of them are currently being sliced open, gutted. You see one of them is currently having its intestines removed. See another one's having its scales plucked off. All of them hanging there from each bar with their tongue wrapped around the top of the metal bar with their mouths open like the hideous flowers that they are.
Is Taylor around here? I just call loudly.
I'm following. Can I be following him?
Certainly.
Okay.
As you follow around with him, you see as one guy currently removing the intestines from one of the kind of pokes his head around and see a big burly figure, just about think almost Popeye, thick forearms, and seemed like he missed the bicep day. And kind of pokes his head around. Yeah, if you're looking for Taylor, he's in the back.
Alright. Just give him a nod and head towards the back.
You head towards the back, and you see it's almost the entire area is open except this one small space. You see it's almost been closed off, almost like an office area. And you see it's still quasi open. There's no real door to it. It just seems to have been walled off. From the inside of it, you kind of hear this kind of bing, shit, bam, fuck. And you hear the breaking of metal as continuous swearing until you finally hear another piece of metal kind of clang, clang, clang. And it sounds like a battle in there, like he's fighting against something.
So is there like a door frame or something I could knock on?
There's a door frame, yes.
Alright, I just knock on the door frame, slowly peeking my head inside, ready to pull it away if anything were to happen. Like anything jumping
Poking,
out.
yeah.
Ow.
Poking your head in and watching is this. You see, currently, you've seen this before, almost like a flax that you've seen before. This long, elongated weapon with a almost staff-like end and then a curved blade. You see, he's currently working with a set of a small, almost hot plate. You see, he has the blade pressed down onto it, and he's currently working with what looks to be some sort of a quasi, almost monkey wrench. And he's currently trying to bend the blade, and so that it would be properly fixed. And you can see it's currently bent, and he's currently trying to fix it. It looks like he's having some trouble. You see, parts of the blade are already broken.
It's like a glaive-like weapon.
Almost like a glaive-like weapon.
Ryoka is interested.
Tater? Is that you?
Here, let me see if I can get... kind of looks up from... Yeah, I'm Taylor. What do you want?
We're in need of darts. Would you be able to create some smiths? I don't know how you make darts.
What? You mean like bar darts? I can make some
Ryoka,
bar darts.
Ryoka walks in and pulls out one of her darts and shows it to him. Not quite a bar dart, if you ask me.
Huh. Yeah, it's not a bar dart. It's in no mic for you guys. The reference to what the currently the weapon he's working on. It's an elongated, almost glaive-like weapon, but it's about maybe
it's not like a staff.
It's not a staff. It seems to be something like a sword. It would be almost like a two-handed sword. Think of it like that. So, and as this is currently going on, he kind of puts it away in front of him and walks over, puts his hand out for the dart.
She drops it in his hand.
And looks at it, squeezes it in his hand. Yeah, metal's malleable enough. Kind of throws it back at you. And see the way he squeezed it, you see there are a couple of finger indentations from how he squeezed it. Hands it back to you. I can make a few of those. I might have material to make about 6 of them.
I'll work. I'm running low.
Yeah, give me about a day and a half. I should be able to have those done. Just gotta get this piece of shit working.
Alright.
Alright. What do you need, Shorty? Kind of looks over at you, Roan.
Yeah, just...
Alright, get out.
Yeah.
I got work to do.
Just shrug leave.
Leaves.
Finding yourselves out and about yet again.
Ryoka
Returning.
thinks of something. You know what I need? I
I
need
swear if
a
it's
flask.
alcohol.
Yes.
I swear. Ugh. Go get your drink. I'm away by the little swamp dock.
No. I need alcohol on the go.
So you say?
Genius. I'm just completely mind blown at how this is possible.
Nehrim turns over to Rowan and asks him, did you find out if there's anywhere to buy, like, any supplies?
We can get meat from the tavern, but as for the rest,
I don't think
vegetable
this
fruits,
town.
no idea. They seem to just mainly eat meat and potatoes.
I don't think this town would be selling that type of stuff. Flax.
A flask. I mean, I definitely think they would be selling flasks.
Well, let's go to the tavern.
From what you know, the main exports of this town, due to all of your business inside of it, is mainly the scales, hide, and dried meat and potatoes of these
Yeah, that's why I
swamp
don't think.
beasts.
Yeah, I don't think people with like half-assed, watered down like alcohol are gonna like say, "Oh, hey, I have a flask on go." That's my thoughts.
Oh, there's an easy
Since
solution to that.
it seems like the town's more poverty, like it has some sort of poverty in it. Great, from what you said.
Not necessarily. Just because a town only trades in a few things doesn't mean it's in poverty.
Yeah, I was only asking because of what you said before, prior to that
It's
the houses
it
weren't
might
in a
look
good shape.
it might look like crap. However, just because somebody's in taking care of it does not mean that it's not a. Looks can be deceiving.
Okay, my mistake then.
Well then, off to the tavern we go. Just start wandering towards it.
Making your way back to the tavern as you keep heading back to the same place twice, going back and forth, coming back to your first destination at the tavern. Making your way out, find yourselves.
Is there anyone playing any sort of card game, dice game inside of the tavern?
See, there's a group of what looks to be about two old timers. One long beard, the other one seems to be short and rather tough, seems to come out to a point. And see, they're both kind of working on shaking two cups and then spilling out a couple of dice on it, and then closing it down, looking at each other. 5 5s. 3 4s. Ha! You can see as the guy with the longer beard seems to have guessed correctly. Kind of shuffles the dice back into it and they shake together.
Alright. I'd like to go sit down with them.
You can go over and gonna mount the table with him, looking, and kind of stop shaking and looking over in your direction.
Just
Can we help?
Yeah. Mind if I join for a few rounds?
I think we would mind.
What if we put a little something on it? I'd like to bring out like 2 gold pieces, put them down on the table. Do you mind now?
It's a friendly game here between us. You can find yourself out.
Oh, it's a shame. Just stand back up. Take my 2 gold pieces. And walk away.
All right. So, finding yourself without luck, no game, sadly. Way back over to the party. As you are all currently filing your way into the tavern, what would you like to do?
See if I can. May as well just buy a bottle for the go since that much is given. So he just goes over to the bar.
Yeah, what am I gonna do for you? Glad to see you back.
Thank you. What's your best drink?
Turns around, grabs a random bottle, just kind of pops it out of the wall. Yeah. Puts it on the bar for you.
For the full bottle.
Bottle. Mm. Say it cost you 8 silver.
Yeah, that's fine. He gives them like, since he's nice, he'll give him 20 silver as a tip.
You know you're overpaying, right?
Well, there. Just I like this bar a little bit, since this town seems pretty nice with its folk.
Well, thank you. Puts it into one of his pouches. Eventually, does make his way back around the bar. Right, what can I get for the rest of you?
Fireball.
Yeah. Junder grabs the bowl, slides it on. Any for the rest of you?
I think I'm gonna take one as well.
Same
Takes another
here.
bowl, slides it out. Takes another one, slides it out. He just starts sliding bowls out from underneath the counter.
So how much is that?
3 silver.
Ryoka takes the
no,
bowl.
Nehrim is
Having
just gonna-
done this before, goes to pour it. Flame and all.
He hasn't made it yet. He just put the
Oh.
bowls out, making sure everybody's getting their drink.
Nehrim already put the three silver.
pretty
I
much
thought you
just-
said he lit it.
No, you pretty much grab the bowl and start to drink it, and it's like, that's empty.
Nehrim meanwhile pays the 3 silver.
Pay the 3 silver, and he grabs this thick glass bottle you're all familiar with. Pulls it and starts pouring out this very clear, almost water-like liquid. Fills it, takes out almost a flint and steel, and just you see as the top part of the drink just flames up and
Just
pushes it
imagine-
towards you.
Just imagine the drink for the fireball is just actual gasoline.
Oh, if it were gasoline, it would explode. So, as you look at the bowl, it's currently a flaming bowl full of liquid. You've never tried it before, Nehrim, but you see as he fills the other bowl and slides it towards Ryoka, fills it and passes it towards Rowan. And they are currently lit, Ryoka. The bowls are lit.
Ryoka takes her bowl and, like she's done before, goes to pour it, flame and all,
Yeah,
down her throat.
Just down it. Go ahead and make a Constitution save throw, please.
Constitution. 14.
Hey, you down it and you can't blow the smoke ring out. It goes down rough today, and and the smoke falls out of your mouth.
Nehrim is gonna follow suit.
Same here.
Miriam, as you down it, Rowan, you as well. Go ahead and make your Constitution save throws, please.
Oh boy. That is a 9 for Nehrim, 5 plus 4.
That is a 8 for me.
Miriam, Rowan, you both take a point of fire damage. As when you swallow it, you feel it burn the back of your throat, and then and the smoke just starts pouring out of your mouth. Sees the old guys look over. Hey, amateurs.
I'm a dragonborn now. I just whisper that out.
you
smell
I'm
a
dragonborn.
You smell a slight smell of ozone out of Nehrim's mouth.
You just,
It was not good. It was not good.
It was absolutely horrible. I just look over at the bartender. Another one.
Ryoka raises her finger as well. Another one.
Nehrim also takes another one.
I just
That is another
look over
3
at the
silver,
rest.
right?
as long as you're paying 3 silver again.
Yep.
I'd like to just look over at Clyde, Iris, and Valis and just go, alright, pussies, join us.
Yeah, join us.
Talking to Clyde.
I'm talking to all 3 of them.
All right.
Basically, I'm talking to anyone that's not drinking.
All right. Rowan turns over to you, Clyde, Iris, and Volus. Hey, you guys got to try this.
It's the worst shit I've ever tasted, but it's amazing at the same time.
I'm not sure they're even here. Allow me to.
I'm right here. I'm
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'm-
Let's see.
Clyde and Iris are just narcoleptic. They fall asleep anywhere. Even more than me.
So, as that happens, and you grabbing the bowls. So, for the rest of you, it'll be. Are you drinking? And points over to you, Volus.
I already have my drink. He says he's not gonna drink it, but he's content with having like alcohol on the go.
Fair. All right. Rest of you. All right. Saska. It'll be 5 silver. Gets out the new bowls, fills each of them, lights all 5 of them, passes them towards you.
Ryoka takes hers and does the same process. Is to do it, right, and wants to try and blow a
Like-
smoke ring.
I'd like everybody. Iris, I see you're not talking in the voice call, but if you would like,
It's muted.
okay, I'd like you to. Are you drinking with everybody else?
Yep.
All right, go ahead, make a constitution. Are you?
No.
No.
I think
All
I
right.
blew all my money, all my luck on just that 120. and
I would
that's
like
it.
everybody
need-
except
need a-
Iris.
We need a sober driver. You know.
I would like
Yeah,
everybody
designated
except
driver.
Iris to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Hey, I got another 8.
This is a natural 20, so
What? 22, 18 plus 4.
24 for Nehrim.
This one, as you swirl it around, just down it, and as it burns through, it gets into your mouth, and it almost starts boiling over. And as you tilt your head back to let it flow down your throat, you feel it burn down through, and you feel the alcohol just slide down, and it feels so nice. And you just, and you almost let out this perfect smoke ring as you cough.
Meanwhile, I'm just coughing my lungs
Yeah,
out.
Rowan, you just gotta. Oh God! And what'd you roll for your Constitution, Rowan?
8 again. Same
You
roll.
take another point of fire damage as it burns the top of your mouth.
I'm not giving up.
Ryoka,
Another one.
you
Kinda-
you do the same thing. You down it, feel it simmer and sizzle, and it burns its way down, and then you release that. You use a smoke ring. Now, as this happens, do you order another shot?
Another one.
He's looking at the group kind of like, oh god, this is not gonna.
Nehrim
end
is not
well."
going to take another one.
Yeah, Nehrim, you're feeling it. Even with how like weight you are, like how big you are as an individual. This is hurting.
Yeah, no.
Just keep
Like, after
repeatedly
the second one, he's
slapping
like,
my hand on the table.
Yeah, you just keep on. Yeah, he gets another bowl and he slides it out to you, fills it. Another silver piece.
you know what?
Got any rum?
Just take this, and we're gonna like. If you need any more, just tell me, and he's gonna place down a gold piece on the counter.
And puts in a gold piece. I'll take it. And puts it into a pouch. And as he sets out more shots, Ryoka Road, are you taking another one?
Fuck yeah.
Ryoka's asking if they got rum.
Rum. Kind of pats himself down, and then looks over on the shelf. We have Captain Freeman.
Can you
The
repeat that?
best we have rum. And kind of holds out a bottle. It's a familiar bottle to you. You've seen this before. It's a long, stout neck with almost like a potion-like bulbous base.
Ryoka does grabby hands. Like, she wants rum.
I down my fireball.
Mm. You down it like you to make a constitution throw in Ryoka. You are asking what?
She wants the rum. She wants the bottle.
Fine. 13.
Right. Puts it on the table. Right. 4 silver.
I'm just paid with gold.
They gave
Yeah.
the gold.
They're
You
on
gave
my
the
team.
gold, yes, but that's not good. Right.
Oh,
You paid for the first. You paid for the first round. You need to pay for the second one.
I paid
So
for
it's-
every single round. I always
Yeah.
deducted the silver.
Yeah. Remember, it's 10 silver is 1 gold. It's been
Yeah.
3, 6, 9, and then you need an additional 4 for the
An
bottle that
additional
she's
4.
buying for the round.
Oh, okay. So she's okay. Yeah, then just
not the
another
100
gold.
it's
Just
not the
another
100s.
gold goes on the table.
And you mark another gold piece off. You guys are made of money, aren't you?
I mean, technically,
Hey, I got 48 gold. I ain't spending it though.
I'm still vibing on
And
my
as you
phone.
grab
After
the, take the bottle as
479.
Nehrim puts down the gold piece, you take it. Dug. Ooh, that's rum. You take in the aroma. That's rum.
Ah, yes, the rum here is
Brings it to her lips.
yes, the rum
is made of just- rum.
Is downing it. This makes you happy. It's a familiar taste, familiar burn, a familiar feeling of your liver screaming. Ah, the sweet agony of the burn. Ah.
See, I've actually had rum before, and it's disgusting.
Have you tried
Don't
mixing
worry.
it with Coke? That's
Yeah,
when
but
it
then
gets
it just
better.
tastes like Coke.
No. You have to use like Coke Light. That one's the best to mix. Gets like this vanilla flavor.
Anyway.
Sorry. Funny.
Anyway,
I need to
Excellent.
switch over to my other headphones, so I might sound like a radio for a second.
oh good. I downed my fireball.
Alright, you down your next one. Go ahead, make your constitution save throw, sir.
Yeah.
Not like you guys have something to do. Let's do more shots.
17.
There we go. So as you throw it back, you finally feel the burn coming through, and it goes down smoothly, even with the burn to the back of your mouth and roof. Kind of finally let it simmer and kind of you let a smoke ring loose.
I feel like in the back of Valus's head, he's just thinking to himself, "Who's gonna carry the fuck out of these guys once they pass out?"
I just look very proud of myself before, just...
Yeah, you look very proud of yourself before you just biff,
pass out.
Yeah.
face plant in. Got it.
Oh no! What happened to him?
And it's
No,
just letting you guys know, it's maybe about 11 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to being day drunk, boys and girls.
Lightly open my eyes, just go like in a completely slurred
Shoot
voice.
your hands up in the air, just.
What's it?
Okay.
There are reasons why Valus does not get drunk in the morning, and this is a reason why.
I have
Speaking
to.
of-
Rowan has
You
just
haven't
completely-
seen drunk yet, fine sir.
Rowan has just completely lost the notion of time at this point. He just sleeps when he wants to sleep, drinks when he wants to drink.
Do you have maybe something to eat, like another portion of the potato and swamp paste?
Zombies. I just say afterwards.
You're still freaking like passed out on the table, but just for that one word,
yeah.
you just wake up swampy.
Yeah. Zombies.
All right. So, Who's picking up Rowan?
I
And
suppose Nehrim will pick up Rowan.
you go over, just kind of slump him over your shoulder slowly. Your axe kind of gets in the way and just move it out of the way.
The axe is like preferably head down. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
the
get
axe is head
closer.
down.
Good.
Oh god.
As I get picked up, I'd like to just, say, dragon.
Dragon.
Thank you for the
Ryoka
drinks.
just giggles and just says, fucking
take it.
lightweight.
Oh come on, alcoholic laughing stock. We're gonna.
Am I
Just
the
taking
only
the
one
bottle.
here that can hold her liquor?
I mean,
I could probably.
I'm pretty
I'd
But
alright
I'm
with
not
it.
doing it now.
I'd like
On
to.
a bet then, Valis?
I'd
Next
like to
tavern,
pet-
we'll drink to our heart's content. I'd rather
I
we just
challenge
finish
you to my heart's content.
I'd like to just pet Nehrim's back, going, good dragon.
again. After we do our stuff in the next tavern, we'll go do it.
I'm gonna
Nehrim
hold
is
you
trying
to it.
Do his best and just ignore
Go
that.
ahead.
Just go.
Be my fucking guest.
And great, I'm gonna get to that. I just need to get some drink because my coffee ran out and my water's empty.
Go for it. So, as this drinking continues, eventually then ends, picking Rowan up, do you all have any idea where you would wish to be going?
Swampies.
I think we're.
The dock.
Yeah,
Alright, as you all start filing out of the bar,
Dragon.
with Nehrim carrying Rowan over his shoulder.
And I just keep repeating swamp beast and
Are you
dragon.
gonna seduce the dragon?
I seduce the dragon. I'm waiting for them to get back.
What is with you guys? What the fuck? I think Greek that
He isn't a real bard until he seduces the dragon.
My only objective would be to seduce that one dragon.
What did I
As this happens, you dragging this near somewhat conscious yet somewhat not conscious Rowan over your shoulder near him to the docks.
Good dragon.
You carrying him over, you see the familiar form of Yosef and Johan. They look over, just managing to catch a glimpse of you stumbling your way down the dock.
Oh no, Ryoka, don't stumble.
No, I don't think Nehrim stumbles as well.
It's not you that's stumbling. It's a mixture of everybody.
I'd like to just loudly announce Swamp Beast!
I think
Pointing
we should
near
stop
Swamp
him next time drinking alcohol.
No, I like him like this. Let's keep him drunk like forever.
Ryoka, you like.
As Johan finally walks up to you guys. Is your friend okay?
Oh no, he's fine.
Yeah,
I
think
would
he's gonna be able to
suppose
find
so.
himself.
Water. Probably a slap on the face too, but just one. That's it.
So, I suppose since you are all here, you are expecting a
Swampy.
ferry to the tower again, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Then I suppose query. So, what can I do you for?
Like the passage towards the tower from last time. We're willing to pay, of course.
Where's Mr.
Of
Cup?
course. So,
Mr.
he
Cup?
sticks his hand out. I believe to have this it requires at least some form of payment.
Good. Can you just kind of copy Inside of the tip, 2 gold coins.
Who did you make this out with?
Mm. So, Rowan, you drunkenly just kind of reach into your pouch.
Just hold on. I'd like to be quick.
Make-
Wait.
You are considered drunk, so all of your intelligence and dexterity checks, even saving
And
throws, are at
dropped.
disadvantage.
Okay. What do you
So
want
I
me to
would
roll?
like you to make an intelligence check, please.
Intelligence check. 17. And I need a disadvantage, right? So another one?
Yep.
Oh,
8.
all right. So
Straight 8.
straight 8. You reach into your pouch. You just drunkenly find a handful of coin. Kind of put it into his hand. You have about 5 gold in his hand with a mixture of about 3 silver and a couple of copper pieces.
Could you remind us again how much he promised you?
Your friend had said 10 gold.
Then Nehrim is gonna just take out 5 more gold and give it to him. I think this should be good. Hopefully. I'm really sorry. He really should have done that.
Dragon.
Can we just dump his head in the swamp, see if the
So-
swamp violates him?
After you pay him the rest of the money, and hands back the silver and copper. Rowan, you and Nehrim can mark off 5 gold from your inventories.
Right.
Takes the gold, and puts it into his pouch. Right, so the usual drill. Please mount yourselves onto the boat.
Alice gets on it.
Ryoka casually gets on.
Yeah, Nehrim just with Rowan still on his shoulder, just steps on the boat.
I give Nehrim a few pats on the back.
This is kind of freaking me out, guys.
All right. Mounting yourselves onto the boat, wobble slightly near him, kind of tilt slightly at your weight. You all step onto it and manage to, without issue, continue on your way as Johann and Josef both take their usual places. As Johann grabbing the usual 9 to 10 foot long oar, just sticking it down into the murky and muddy waters and starts pushing it through and away for you. You guys making your way down through these murky and disgusting waters of the swamp. Nothing seems to disturb you. Takes just about the usual hour and a half to about 45 minutes to make your way towards this.
Can I take a nap?
Certainly.
Just
Sleep your way through.
Yep. Partially because of Rowan, partially because I'm drunk. It's a mixture of both.
So, you all finding your way out as you eventually make your way to a familiar ring of vegetation surrounding a large sunken tower. Pushing your way through, the boat eventually stops again, grounding itself onto the shores. You all seem to have arrived at the tower unmolested. Nothing seems to have stopped you.
Thank you. On the boat trip, he says, assuming they got off.
It is my pleasure, of course.
And, as this waits for, though he is cautious about him, would make his way to the tower. But we're just waiting for everyone else to follow suit. So it's like at the door frame.
I'm gonna say Nehrim just picks me up while I'm sleeping or something.
Yeah,
Nehrim just kind of
I'm
throws
just-
you over his shoulder again.
Yeah, I'm just carrying him around.
Nehrim is my designated babysitter.
Yeah.
Apparently.
As you guys find your way back inside of this tower, you see the trapdoor still open inside the cell. Do you wish to delve deeper?
Sure.
So, who's going down first?
If no one goes first, I'll go first.
Alright. Willis, as you travel down the ladder first, met with the familiar cold, damp air beneath with these black, dark stones. It's familiar.
Kind of looked up to see if anyone else is coming down.
You look back up.
Marioka.
Could I wake up?
Certainly wake up. That's bright.
Drop Rowan in the hole.
Wake up and be
Nehrim's too good for that. That's the sad
I
thing.
know. I know.
Yeah, Nehrim is just gonna, like, just somehow tie, like, take his hempen rope, just tie Rowan to his back, and then just start, like, climbing down with him on his back.
slowly open my eyes and go like, where am I?
Welcome to the gulags, Rowan.
I just slowly reach out, my eyes still half closed. I just patter around with my hand, mainly just, grabbing at Nehrim's face, just like, what?
Could you please don't whatever. Yeah, you were out cold for a while, so
Something
You
about just
put him
walking-
down. And he eventually finding his way down the hole, finding his way down the ladder. No.
Why are we back here again? Oh, Mr. Cup, never mind. Hey, Mr. Cup! Mr. Cup,
Yes,
we're home.
I know.
Where should we drop you off?
It should be pretty straightforward for the likes of yourself.
True.
Undead
That-
librarian. Got it.
Silas is he's walking after he noticed Ryoka just coming down. So he wasn't in the way.
Ryoka follows you down. As you all slowly but surely follow suit. Eventually finding your way down the halls, finding the familiar cages. Empty. Or the almost airlock doors. Closed. As you go over and open them, they don't seem to be locked. They seem to allow you in.
Vaz took the time to take the cup out of the satchel bag. He says they enter the next room where the old man was.
You can call him an old man, sure.
I don't know what to call him. I don't remember the name.
Taking the cup out of your sack and continuing down the halls. As you open the first door, you hear a and the second door opening. You hear the lock undoing. As it starts opening, see the old servant still there. The gray skin still taut against his old skeleton. And you see parts of the flesh still broken in place. The skin not bleeding, just parted. You see this withered looking figure. It has almost a slight grin to it. As it gives a small bow, puts its hand out.
Alright then.
Well,
Who's this fellow?
This is the one who offered us to go get the cup.
Oh, okay.
And Valis, of course, presents the cup to the old servant.
Presenting it to him. As he reaches out his hand, seems like he's about to grab it, but he doesn't. And as you're almost in this odd Canadian standoff until eventually you release your hand and you notice the chalice is floating. And as this figure brings it back towards himself, you see as he takes his other hand and places it under, carrying. She seems to carry it with due respect. As he turns around, you hear a
No, I'm just turns to
Somebody
Valis.
the
Sorry.
door on the far end opens as you see the lock magically move and twist about. As this happens, and watches the servant continues through down about another 10-foot hallway before it opens up. Are you guys following, or are you just watching from a distance?
I'll follow.
I'll follow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nehrim's gonna follow Valis. But still
Following, as you follow this servant holding the chalice, you find another room as it passes through this another 10-foot of hallway. You see it's an open about 20 by 20 foot. And you see in the center of it seems to be this almost obelisk-like pedestal. Not pointed at the top, but flat. And you see just about eye level, there is a skull with 2 emerald eyes looking directly through the doorway.
Mr. Cup, is that your body or something? Is that you? Your skull?
One moment. And as this happens, he watches the skull starts to levitate as the chalice is brought closer, and the servant walks around the skull. And the skull follows and turns around, following the servant, seemingly to completely ignore you.
Nehrim just turns to Valis. You have any idea what's going on?
I just look at Nehrim and go,
From my guess, either A, he's trying to get himself out the cup, or B, this is some ritual to, something.
Everything here is dark, completely dark. Ryo, you can't see anything. Only people who have dark vision can see anything.
May turn to Nehrim and just go, jazz hands, magic.
I mean, even I was like thinking about, yeah, it's probably magic.
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't see anything, but like,
About to die?
no, I think we're still alive.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately.
Love having 2 ambient spots.
I'd like to go over to Ryoka, just very, very softly whisper, I have a feeling we should get out of here. The cup doesn't really like us, and I feel like something bad's about to happen.
You
No,
watch
but
as
I
the
want to see what happens.
chalice continues through. You see on the other end of this large room, you see a almost double door-esque sigil carved into the wall.
I'd like to hide behind Nehrim, just
You
in
hide
case.
behind Nehrim. You watch as there's a green flash from behind the servant from the eyes of this floating skull that seems to be made of onyx. And as it flashes, you see his blue and green runes start filing around from the top of this door. And then on the inside and outside lines of the door, you see as they start becoming defined, glowing with a purple energy, shifting to green, and then blue, and then black. You watch as the door, the sound of stone grinding on stone, starts pushing backwards, not opening, but pushing backwards. You watch as it continues going through. It doesn't stop, just continues going. 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 60, and then stops and comes to rest. And only then do you see as the doors grinding of stone again, opening up. And as you walk through this long 60-foot tunnel, you look and you see engraving, stone, etched in. You see almost murals. You see zombies, demons, humans, people being murdered, slain, sacrificed. Continuing deeper, you see demons possessing people, crucifixion, more zombies raising from the dead. You see his skeletons opening a coffin. You see as all of this are very finely etched into the walls of this tunnel. Looking over, you see huge armies marching across the mural. You see of the undead, flesh missing from faces, the broken bone and teeth from their mouth as they endlessly walk forward, moaning in their pain and of undeath. Till eventually you see, just at the end, you see a two-headed figure. One head humanoid, the other head demonic, horns branching out like an elk.
Nice crib.
He is a huge form, even from the mural, towers over the rest. And as the door opens and you finally push your way through, you see an ever-burning pot, cauldron of fire, burning green and blue, and then purple as the chalice is brought closer. As this happens, you see as the servant stops, the skull retreat slightly. See as the servant starts moving his hands around in some very arcane gesture, moving around, not in any sort of magic anybody here knows. And as they move about, you watch as the same energy starts to come from this chalice as the color burning from the cauldron. You watch as this energy just starts to build around the chalice, growing thicker, denser, brighter, until finally you just see as the energy lifts above, maybe about a foot above the chalice, and the chalice just ding, 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 falls to the ground. You watch as the energy slowly travels forward, and then connects to previously what you hadn't seen before. This large, sitting down figure in a large throne of bone, stone, and gems. Sitting down, this figure looks to be about 7'3". And as the energy connects to it, you see as this outline of energy just starts radiating through it. Purple, green, blue. You see in the right eye this small flicker of energy. Green. Almost starts burning like a pupil. You see as the left eye is engraved with almost an emerald-like, same as the skull in the front. See the body before you covered in furs. Fine creatures. You see robes lavishly created in golden chains and silver. Rings on the figures that gleam like old nobility sigils. And you watch as the figure doesn't move. Stay still. Figure takes a breath. And watch as it removes its fingers from the grip on the throne. Audible. The audible popping of bone as it brings its hands out in front of it. And turns them around, looking at them. You see as it locks eyes with you and the party. And brings its hands back down. You watch as the chalice kind of picks up from the ground, nobody touching it. No making of motion. And it pops up and lands into the fire. And you see a flash of flame. And you see as a cloud of ash sparkles up. And then approaches this figure. Once you had seen before, you see this figure had been missing parts of his skin, or its skin. You'd seen almost like the servant you had seen before. The teeth being exposed on the right side of the skull. And see as the ash comes over and almost cakes it, becoming skin. You see as the arms bandaged from the wrist all the way up on both sides are covered in this ash, and you see as the bandage almost becomes skin again, covered in a thin layer of skin. And as it finally starts to put its hands to the side of the throne, it starts to stand up. And it opens its mouth to speak to you. And that's what we're in tonight's session.
Damn it.
Oof.
Where did I
So?
feel like we just released Lich?
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
This is
This
the
is-
BBEG.
This is where I attempt to intimidate it by shitting my pants.
Why?
It just
the first thing she said in 2 hours. Why?
I don't know what to say. Like, just
Play your character.
Here's the. You see this thing coming out, right? And the first thing my character is gonna do is gonna be like, "Fuck this shit out mouth." Fuck this shit
Just
out
dances out of the room like, yeah,
Don't
just
mind
like-
me.
just
I just get like,
walks
don't
out.
mind me. I'ma just take my stuff and leave, even though it's not my stuff. Just take random stuff out of the place.
Just steals over you, cause shit, and then leave.
To be fair, I could see that. Well, I suppose it's time for me
Stop.
to wrap up
Freeze
the
frame.
Twitch thing.
Now, how I got here?
All right. You know what? Let me mute myself in Discord just so I can do this without annoying you guys. Yeah. Thanks for everyone who stuck around. And yeah, I might just start streaming this every week. If the others are fine with it, I'm gonna talk to them about it. Or I guess since like some people are in here anyway, like if you're fine with it, just tell me. If you're not fine with it, also tell me so I know not to do it. Well, and yeah. Thanks. See ya. Have fun. I'm gonna check if there's anyone to raid. Cause raiding's fun. Not really. Well, I guess see you guys. Have fun. Thank you.